What is going on, YouTube people? Neo Cards and Comics here today to talk a little Panini football. They had updated their release schedule, and I thought it would be worth kind of just diving in and taking a peek at it to see what they have coming and when, and a little speculation on, will we see all these products? Will we see anything else beyond these products? Just kind of some of the stuff in that vein. But while I was on this little journey to 2023 town, 2022 Encased was up on the old Panini store. It goes on sale in less than 2 days at time of recording. And for those that don't know, Encased, typically you get a couple base cards. You usually get one autograph card, and then you get an autographed encased card, which, correct me if I'm wrong, comment section, in the last forever, for as long as I can remember, at least in the modern times, the COVID times, and even pre-COVID times, that encased card was a Beckett graded slab. Once again, please correct me if I'm wrong. I think I got that one right, but I've always seen it as a Beckett graded slab. Like I said, maybe at one point in time it wasn't. So I was scrolling through here looking at this. This is 2022, so this is the tail end of last year's product. Keep that in mind. This is not CJ Stroud. This is Kenny Pickett. Not that they'd have Stroud autos anyway, but. And I was just, nosing around, and then down here, there was an interesting little note right here on this little second line. Find 2 autographs, which is normal. Encased always usually had 2 autos, including 1 encased auto in a 1-touch holder with security sticker per box. So does that mean the graded card's not in encased anymore? It's just a 1-touch with a Panini sticker on it? Like how they send out their redemptions? Is that what encased is this year? I've never been a big fan of this product, so this is no skin off my back. I would never rip this regardless of sport. It's just not my thing. To be fair to them, to play devil's advocate here, most of these cards did not grade well. You would usually see BGS 9s, 8 5s, on the rare occasion a BGS 9 5, but typically they were almost always 8 5s and 9s. These were thicker RPA style cards. Those don't usually grade quite as well. Now, I don't know. There could be 2 things here also, once again, to be a little fair to Panini. We don't know if this was their cost-cutting measure. Was this something to make their lives easier? Or could Beckett not meet the needs of Panini? And maybe they didn't want to switch out a grading company at the last minute and just said, hey, screw it. If we're not doing graded, let's just rip the Band-Aid off. Or maybe it's a little bit of column A and a little bit of column B. Maybe Beckett was falling behind, or Beckett didn't want to deal with it anymore, whatever the case might be, and I have no inside information on this. And Panini just said, all right, you know what? If Beckett can't do it, rather than go find someone else, let's just mag these things up and so be it. So just keep that in mind. If you buy into a lot of breaks or you casually pick up football product to rip, once again, they are not going to blatantly advertise. There's not going to be a banner out front of the hobby shop that says, hey, there's no more Beckett graded card in here if that's what you're expecting. I have a feeling, once again, a few people will be surprised by this. The people that get hurt the most are, I don't want to call them the casuals, but the non-content consuming part of the hobby, which is, to be fair, a large portion of it. They are not going to know things like this. Maybe they bought a box of Encased every year. They walk in, they grab a box, they take it home and rip it and go, where the hell is my Beckett graded card? I've ripped this for years. It's always been there. Same thing that I've been talking about with CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, Will Levis autos. I guarantee you most casual collectors in the hobby have no idea that they can't pull their autos from that product, and Panini is not going to go out of their way to tell you that. So let's move on to the 2023 schedule. This was not the primary thing I wanted to talk about today, but it just kind of popped up while I was digging through this other stuff, and I was like, that's interesting. 2023 release schedule. They updated this. We are going to focus strictly on football. Once again, we have 2022 football Encased, as we just discussed, coming out later this week. Let's look at 2023 product. The assumptions have been, since the NFLPA has kind of whacked the contract with them, is that Panini has a sell-off period of some sort. Once again, this is all rumors, speculation, best guesses at this point of the program. that they have a sell-off period of some term to get rid of the inventory that they have. Best guesses were 30, 60, 90 days. If we believe this schedule, this goes past 60 days. So the running theory, Paul Esco put on Twitter, maybe it's a 90-day out or a 90-day sell-off period, which I guess is pretty standard business in a lot of these types of contracts. 90 days out, nothing on this list goes past 90 days from the date that the NFLPA whacked that. So they could potentially squeeze in a couple more releases. I believe that would take them to mid-November, if my math is correct on that. So what do we have on the slate right now? Elite, plates and patches, Mosaic. I'm skipping over Flawless because that's 2022. Black, Mosaic Choice, Gold Standard, Mosaic No Huddle. So 3 Mosaic products. Origins, Donruss Football, and then Origins Football International Blaster. I didn't know Origins had blasters. I thought that was just usually a hobby-only product, unless that is something slightly different. That's a pretty lean 2023 slate. So we're going to go to Assumption Town. Let's assume nothing else gets squeezed in here, or maybe one more release gets squeezed in here. Of that list, your only real, and this is a stretch, heavy hitter product, in my opinion, that garners some, I guess let's just call it flipper love, is Mosaic. Mosaic has become popular over the years. A lot of people like it. A lot of people like the inserts, the parallels. Genesis are very popular. They do some cool inserts. The design is usually very hit or miss. You either love it or hate it. Some people really like Mosaic. Some people hate Mosaic, just depending on what the individual design looks like every year. That's kind of the only really mainline product of that list. And it's one of the few mainline products that gets a mass retail release. Mosaic, you'll see blasters, mega boxes, cello packs, etc. Donruss Football, you will also see that on, but that is a very base level product. That is a very entry level product. The only real high-end product here, and that is a stretch as well, is Origins. That at least usually has, in the past, nice on-card autos. Whether it still does or not, we'll see. Gold Standard is a very niche product. Some people like it, some people hate it. Same with plates and patches. They're nice auto products, but it's usually fake patches, napkin patches, and let's be honest, those products are based around autographs, and Panini doesn't have the rights to use the three of the 4 main people you would probably want autos from in the product. It's 3 of the 4 top quarterbacks. They don't have. So that kind of guts those products. The question is does something else sneak on here? And the other thing to keep in mind too is Panini has been shuffling around release dates forever because they keep missing them. So they do not have a lot of wiggle room to miss release dates on this stuff. So it's going to be hard, in my opinion, for them to squeeze something else in. Once again, if we are living in Assumption Town and we are assuming that mid-November is their cutoff for releasing product. Now, could we get more clarity between now and then? Sure. Could something else change? Sure. There's a ton of different things on the table. But I thought it was just kind of worth running down because they updated this schedule on Monday to just kind of take a look at it. And once again, just kind of make yourself aware. If you are the type of person to want to chase 2023 product, you want to rip, you want to buy in the breaks, you want to chase retail, whatever the case might be, more power to you. I'm not here to tell you how to spend your money. But this is potentially what you're looking at. Now, like I said, they could update this again in a week and sneak a couple more products on there. Or maybe they're going to blow off the whole thing anyway. I doubt it. I think we're in the assumption that this 90-day sell-off period is a thing, or some sort of sell-off period. The thing to monitor here, if you want to stay in the loop, is pay attention to these release schedules as we get closer to these dates. As we get deeper into the fall and into the winter, do these continue to update? Or is all of a sudden we see basketball releases into December, but football stops mid-November? That'll be a big tell. When we get the next schedule update, if we start seeing more and more basketball products filter in late November, early December release dates, and football mysteriously stops in early November and there's nothing past that, that could be a good tell on, I wonder what's going on here. Because there is going to be, whether it's artificial, temporary, who knows, If that is the case, where football product cuts off in early November, there is going to be artificial demand on the limited amount of supply of 2023 football wax. Keep that in mind. Also, be careful. This could all change any day. We get into mid-November, we could know that Panini is releasing no more products. You could go all in on 2023 Mosaic, saying it's going to the moon, and 2 days later, Fanatics could buy Panini or come to some agreement that they get the rights. And then your Mosaic investment just went down the toilet because here comes Topps Chrome walking down the street, the new girl in school, and everyone is going wild for her. So don't over leverage yourself if you're going to kind of play these games with 2023 football wax. Still a lot of unknowns. A lot of unknowns. So just be careful out there. Keep your eyes on this stuff. We'll catch you boys and girls on the next one. Peace.